When you had your first spar, how did you feel? Putting gloves on to get in to have your first spar.
I was timid. I was timid. I was a timid kid. I was
so
timid
you got
kid.
your first punch, and how did you feel?
I got bashed up.
But
and
you just
I was scared.
continued.
But I just I was scared, but not. I must have not been that scared because I kept doing it.
Coming back.
I kept coming back. Yeah.
Yes, we're here. 13th and final round. We've got our boys here, John Keenan, Donovan Smiley, myself, Ishin Pickering. We've got a guest here,
British
Super
champ.
Tommy Frank.
Let's go.
Former Commonwealth Super Flyweight, current British Flyweight.
Reel 'em off, Ish.
WBC International.
Yeah.
Belts.
So to tell
Straps.
me this, you've gone down the weight. You've gone down the weight.
Yeah.
Is it hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is.
Wow.
It's
But
hard. It's hard, but I make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
You look like you're always in shape though.
Yeah.
You know what
I'm,
I mean?
I'm
Which
always
is the
I'm
thing.
always in the gym.
Good
But,
training.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're on it.
What do you walk around at?
I walk around at about. I box at 8 stone. I walk around about 9'3".
That's
9'3".
good.
So
You're tall for the weight as well.
So you don't struggle, do you?
I'm a big flyweight. I don't struggle, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
If you ask any fighter about making the championship weight, it's never easy unless you're moving up a weight.
Yeah.
And
He
stuff
should
like
know.
that. Yeah.
And as you know, listen, as you know, that's not a very good question. What you've been asking, what you walking around at. That's not a good question.
Chipping him up earlier on. I apologise.
So whatever the fighter says in that response, it's probably about £5 lighter than what.
Of course.
But in a day, you make the weight and you're fine. You make it
exactly.
comfortably.
He
So
should.
you know what you're doing, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Tell him when you was a super bantamweight, when you moved down, we'll level out here. You moved down to bantamweight. Tell him about that experience.
Oh, we've been through it though. It's tough, and like I said, you got to take your hat off to Tommy, and I know he's doing it right.
Yeah.
Because I can only look at him
can
and
tell.
see the man's in shape and he's training. So really, the weight's not that much as long as he's in the gym.
Yep.
And he knows he can do it, and he's made it, and he's won title. He's won the title. So he knows what he's doing. He knows it's not easy. Do you know what I mean? It's never easy making weight.
No, hardest
You know what I
part.
mean?
It is really
Well,
Exactly.
I think one of the main things, and like you discussed with Glenn earlier, what I heard, the one thing that's really come in is about nutrition and working with guys that help you. It must be like night and day compared to back in the day.
100%.
Fighters making weight and stuff like that. It's so scientific, and it's like the day before a weigh-in, I'll be drinking like 7 litres of water, and it's just stuff that you would never think to do
Because
that
we would think
cuts the
to
weight.
dehydrate
But
yourself.
these people, the dietitians what are helping you, they've studied for years, they know, and they get you to that weight. And not only that, but when I make 8 stone the day before on the weigh-in, I wouldn't want to get in the ring right there and fight. But 24 hours, 36 hours after, once you've got everything back in you, what you're supposed to, and rehydrated, I'm like a different man. I really am. Glenn will tell you that. Glenn looks at me day before and he's a bit worried, and then he sees me on fight night, and I'm just like a different man.
Scientific approach, innit?
Yeah.
Scientific approach, 100%.
Who have you got anyone working with you with your nutrition?
Yeah, so like he said, I started my professional career at super flyweight. That's what I won. I won a central area title at super flyweight. I won the Commonwealth at super flyweight. And I think I won the WBC international silver at super fly. And then it was just before the lockdown. And I got a chance to box for an IBO flyweight world title. So Dennis, manoeuvred me into that position. And we'd have to move down the weight. So at the time, I'd always done my own diet and everything like that, because I've always looked after myself. I've always been in gym. And it's something I'm actually really interested in, that side, your food and stuff like that. So I wasn't doing anything majorly wrong.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see if I was just missing that extra couple of percentage. So I got in touch with the Sheffield United first team nutritionist, Lee Rickard. And he's a really good guy, really knows his stuff. And I worked with Lee. He got me down to flyweight, which weren't too hard. And like I said, it was just them little 2 or 3%, especially when it comes to just cutting the last couple of pounds.
That's the hardest part as well.
That's the hardest part, and just doing it safely. And then also, like I said before, the refueling part. I think making the weight is one thing, but if you're not refueling correctly, there's kind of no point. So I got that down to a T. I worked with Lee for a couple of fights, and really thankful to him. He taught me that them few little bits.
Did he tell you, like, so I help fighters make weight because my job as an online coach, I work on nutrition, and I can write nutrition plans out for people. And when people tell me that they want, boxers are a little bit different, right? Because the fat loss and weight loss are two different things. And boxers have to focus on weight loss because they're getting on the scale, but the general public don't have to. So body composition is that you can actually be a stone heavier but be 4 clothes sizes down. Boxers don't have that luxury, so they have to do it a little bit different. They do, and they have to be pulling the calories down over a period of time until you get to the
You're training You're training hard for like 10, 11, 12 weeks. You've got to have the fuel in you to train.
That's right.
I just think that if you're on a I don't really believe in diets. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
It's all about
this kid's smart.
Take that tea off diet and it's die, right?
That's right. Yeah, but I just think anyone can pull 2 stone off themselves in 8 weeks and be like, but
is it healthy?
Think the main is it healthy? I just think if you're conscious about your diet and I don't want to get too deep into it, but calories are calories. If you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. It don't matter if you're eating McDonald's or whatever. You're going to lose weight.
But I just smart, John.
He's speaking my language. It's not like speaking all day long.
John can't nod enough, man. Trust me.
I like when I hear it because there's coaches out there and trainers out there. And I'll be honest with you, I'm glad that boxing in some ways lives in the dark ages because it gives me loads of opportunities, because everyone thinks I'm a genius because I know how to get people to make weight without having a sweatsuit on and all the rest. It's not hard if you know.
Of course it is.
And how to work the macronutrients and micronutrients in there so you get the replenishing. But
so, I mean, for me as a professional in a weight making sport, which is boxing, I make it my obligation
100%.
to know what I'm doing with my weight.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, Glyn can train me and push me, but that's up to me to make the weight as a pro. So
you got knowledge
I've
now.
got to educate myself, do it the best way possible, and that's what I do.
Okay, get away from the dieting now. I know you're sick of that now, yeah? Let's talk about your career.
You're making him hungry.
Yeah, so when did you start boxing, and how did you start boxing, and why did you start boxing?
So I was around, I think I was around 12 or 13 when I first discovered boxing. And what it was, one of my cousins, Ricky, he used to box amateur for this gym, Sheffield Boxing Centre. So I always used to go down to my auntie and uncle's flat on Park Hill. I always used to go down there, and they had like a punch bag in the, just as you walk in, they had this punch bag. So I always used to see it, and I might have been like 10 or 11. Used to have a little go on it. My uncle used to put like Mike Tyson videos and give me to take away. And I'd just be and I just kind of discovered it, and then around that time, I don't know if you remember it, there was a series on TV called The Contender.
I've got all of
really
the
so that were, I think it was 2005.
That's right.
I think the first series it was like Peter Manfredo,
Alfonso.
That was really good.
And I don't know whether my dad had brought me down to the gym before I saw that, because I think I just asked my dad one day to bring me down. Must have been like a Saturday morning and this gym's different now, so the entrance used to be like over there.
I thought that when I came in last time it was different.
And like I said, I might have been about 12 or 13. I can remember walking up the stairs and feeling nervous, and the gym were busy. It were a big Saturday morning.
How did it smell?
Well, you see these scaffolding poles. When this gym's full and everyone's on these bags, there's a right racket.
Well,
you know what I mean? You can't hear yourself talk. So I can just remember like walking up the stairs and hearing the sound of them poles rattling. And then just walking in and just the smell, and I was scared. You know, as a young kid. I was scared. You know, and I think at first I liked the idea of boxing more than actually doing it, maybe. You know, and I think you know, my dad let me try it, but I think my dad kind of thought once he gets a few cracks, you know, he might
knock
not.
it out of him.
Yeah. But and like I said about the Contender. I can remember watching that and just thinking, I don't know, I was just thinking to myself, that's what I want to do.
It buzzed you up.
It planted a seed in my head, and I can always remember that being a kid. Always remember that, and I don't know whether it was just like kind of wanting to do something a bit different or wanting to prove myself, but he just planted that seed, and you know, I started coming to the gym. I didn't really take to it at first. You know, I wouldn't say that I was naturally talented or anything like that. But like I said, something, maybe just like a little fire inside me just kept me coming. Just kept me hanging on. And like I came with like a group of friends from school. So as the weeks and months went by, they drifted off, but I just kept coming. I just kept coming.
So when you had your first spar, how did you feel? Goes on to get into your first spar.
I was timid. I was timid. I was a timid kid. I was a timid kid. I got bashed up. I got bashed up.
But you just
I was scared. But I just you know, I was scared, but not. I must have not been that scared because I kept doing it.
Coming back.
I kept coming back. And I think as the months turned into years,
got better and better.
And I think I was playing football at the same time. I used to train with a football team when I was around 12, 13, 14, whatever, but I was never good enough to make the team. So I just used to train with them. Like all the guys I was training throughout the week, and then they were playing on a Sunday, but I never got picked for the team. I like crack and you know, playing football. So I was playing football as well as training here. And I think it got to when I was around 14, and my dad just said to me, look, I've seen you box, train, and I've seen your football training. I think it's the time where you need to make a decision. And my dad said to me, I've seen that you like boxing, and I think you should pick it, and I think you should stick to it. And to be fair, that's what I did. You know, so I started picking up my training and really focusing on boxing. And then I had my first amateur fight when I was 15.
How did you feel?
Glenn, this fella can talk. You even brought him Brendan.
Time well.
Has he been around Brendan?
Do you know,
talk, can't it?
Do you know why I can
Glenn's
talk?
talking well.
No, do you know what? In all seriousness, do you know why I can talk? Because from being 13 years old, that man's had a camera in my face.
Wow.
Saying, come on, you've got 1 minute to talk. 1 minute. You know, say whatever you want. And then day by day, you just get more comfortable. You get comfortable with cameras in your face.
So it's collected all that. Right. So you can use that later on, like for your documentary.
But I didn't know that back then.
Well,
I just thought, what's he doing?
Smart.
How did you do as an amateur? Tommy, how'd you do? Did you have many?
Do you know what, Ish? I had 45 amateur fights, and I won one more than I lost. So
off and off. That's a good record. That's a good record. Yeah, that's a good record.
You know, so I never won any national titles as an amateur. You know, I won some Yorkshire titles.
For your size.
I was small. I think my first fight was like 49 kilo, and I never really boxed above maybe 52 kilo.
What age was you then?
I was 15.
So you haven't really grown since then, have you?
Not really,
a little bit.
It's like now, I box at flyweight 8 stone, so that's like 50.8 kilos. So
you might have been a little bit heavier back then in your body size. You've lost a bit now.
Your general body composition just changes, you know. But yeah, like I said, I was 15 when I had my first amateur fight, and in all honesty, since I was 15 and having that first fight, boxing is all I've ever done and all I dreamed about doing.
You know what I like about what you're saying? This is the revelation that I've come to pass through COVID. When you go on social media now, you see all these people saying motivational comments and all the rest of it. But what I learned about motivation is that it might last for a second, it might last for a day, it might last for 2 weeks, but when it wears off, are you still doing what you're doing? And the guys that make it are not the ones with the ability or the ones looking for motivations. They're the ones that are showing up. And for everything that you said there, you've probably seen you start with your mates who were better than you in the beginning, and they're gone and you're still here. And that's the ones that make it, that stick at it.
Just consistency. That's what it is. You know, and if you ask Glyn or Matt, you know, when I first started boxing, you know, would they ever think I'd be a British and Commonwealth champion? They'd probably say no. It just goes to show you, you know, you stick at it and
put your mind to it.
Put your mind to it, put your mind to it and believe in yourself. And like I said, I don't know why I stuck at it. I just had that little fire in me, and something about boxing really, you know, intrigued me. And
it's not just the boxing; it's a family.
Yeah.
When you come to the gym,
and this gym.
You
know, one of the things I'm so proud of is throughout, you know, since being a 12-year-old kid, I'm 28 now. I've been in this gym. You know, I've gone all the way through my amateur career, through my professional career, and winning titles. And I think that's quite rare in boxing these days.
I've got a good feeling for you, Tommy. I've got a good feeling for you. You're kind of under the radar as a British champion. Former Commonwealth champion. Obviously, there's Eddie and Frank there. I'm hoping you're going to get on one of them platforms soon. You know, it's going to happen for you. So you're in a great position.
That's what I'm craving. That's what I'm craving now. You know, because I wasn't a national champion or anything when I turned pro. I wasn't an Olympian. It's very rarely you get snapped up straight away by Eddie or Frank. So, you know, I turned pro. Obviously, Glyn's my trainer. Dennis Hobson is my manager. And I've been, again, I'm very proud. I've been with them from the start, and I want to finish with them.
Loyalty's
you know,
everything.
But you know, this is the time where, you know, it's probably a very crucial part in my career, because I'm the current British flyweight champion, and you know, I'm 28, so you know, 28, 29, 30, 31. There,
4 good years you've got.
Your prime years, you know. So I was speaking to this about with Dennis, you know, the other day. You know, I'm with, you know, obviously Glyn's my trainer. He always won't be. Dennis is my manager, and I said to Dennis, look, you're my manager. I'm with you till the end. But you know, if there's big fights and big opportunities out there, I want to get some big fights.
To get a few quid.
And to get a few quid, exactly. Because at the end of the day, that's... I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not bothered about money, but I am, but that's more so... I want to look after my family more than anything. Like, you know, my fiancé... I'd look, you know, I want to look after us and our way of life, and you know, living in a nice house is brilliant, but I want to look after like my mum and dad, and
I like that.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not.
I wish
really
I had
about
that.
me.
I wish I had that.
He's
He
wise.
knows now.
Wise.
At 28, when I was champion, I never had that. I never had that. I didn't know. I wasn't thinking.
Do you know when I look at what you're saying, and this is, I said this to someone recently, and then I'm writing that down and putting it on my gym wall, Edwin. And I said it by accident, but when you say it, this is what I think boxing lacks. Sometimes it's not about having ability; it's about having some stability. And the stability that you've got with Glenn and Dennis, boxers don't make it. The guys with ability, they don't make it because their lifestyle outside of boxing, they don't have that stability.
That's
that is the really important thing, that you know where you're going.
Big thing to Brendan, that.
Massive. You have to have that stability, because otherwise you don't lose because of the physical aspect of boxing. It's the mental aspect of it.
And I must say that's one thing I have got, that stability. And I'm so grateful for it, you know, because like you said, I've got my solid foundations, you know, with Glyn and Matt and the gym and everyone. Obviously Dennis. And then I've got my private life, you know, my fiancé is brilliant, you know, we just moved into an house a couple of years ago, his first house. My mum and dad's round the corner. I've got a brother, you know, my brother and sister both on So I've got like, and all my fiance's family as well, they're just up the road. I couldn't have a better
support system.
Honestly.
Keep it like that, Tommy. Keep it like that.
And you know what? When people come along trying to you don't need it.
Get rid of it.
You've already got what you need.
And as well, my sponsors. You know, my sponsors are important, but I feel like I've got such a special relationship with my sponsors, because, you know, every one of them, they're not just my sponsors, they're like my personal friends. You know, a couple of them have been there since like day one, you know, as supporting me when I was an amateur. You know,
You want to give your sponsors a shout out?
I would, but I don't want to miss anyone out. Do you know what I mean?
Everybody, I know what you're
So
saying.
there's like, there might be like 7 or 8 men.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Come
could
on,
do,
come
but
on,
I'd be
come on,
taking a
man.
risk.
Just do it. You'll remember.
Yeah, forget.
I can edit
Drop
this
to
part.
do
I
it
can edit
later.
this part out if you get it wrong. You can tell me after. Yeah.
At the end, you should put
Yeah.
a picture of my sponsor.
Yeah, that's
I'll
the
do
one.
that
Have
at
you
the
got any
end.
labels with
At the
sponsor
end,
on
he's
it?
gonna give me the sponsors.
You
And
want
I'm
my
gonna
car?
put the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I'll sort you something out. And if you could put that on the end of this,
I
that'd
will.
be brilliant.
I will.
Because I owe so much to them, you know. Because when I turned pro, I was just I was working it as a labourer, you know, and I was boxing amateur, just working for this local building. He was brilliant. He supported me, you know. He let me get off for training and stuff. But I got to that point where I was just like, I knew that I was going to turn pro, and I didn't want to turn pro and still be working. I don't know if that sounds daft.
Too hard, it's hard.
I know, yeah.
It takes everything.
And I
hard.
just thought, you know what? I thought if I'm gonna do it, boxing's what I
properly.
want to do. Boxing's what I want to do, and I don't want to do it and then look back in 10 and 15 years and think, oh, if I'd have put more into it, I could have done this. So I just thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it, and I quit. I just quit.
All in.
All in. I quit my job.
You got no regrets if it don't work out.
No
then?
regrets. And back then, you know, I probably had one sponsor, maybe 2, who was sponsoring me as an amateur, and it would basically just sink or swim from.
You sound good, Tom, but tell me this: are you confident? I mean, like, can you take this? Can you be the best man in Britain, Europe, and the world? Are you confident?
I believe so. Yeah,
you,
I believe
you
in
can
myself.
do that. Yeah,
I think I'm very. I don't know, like you said,
because that's everything.
I've been under the radar, like you said, but my belief in myself. Although, and I'm not loud and I'm not brash on social media and things like that, and sometimes maybe that's a bit of a downfall. But I can't pretend to be someone I'm not.
I like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
I
not
like
like
Just be real.
Yeah, and I
yeah.
just think if you just be who you are, and I think people will accept you for who you are, you know. So I'm not going to go on Twitter and start calling fighters out and being a big mouth, because that's just not me.
Do you know what? You know what it is, right, Tommy? Right? And a lot of people don't get the two, and you've got this, right? You got self-confidence and self-esteem, and most people don't know the difference, right? Self-confidence is something you portray outwardly. Example. You could have a girl who's got an amazing body and she's showing it all off, but behind closed doors she could be suffering from depression, right? Because her self-esteem's down, right? You don't always have to be shining out in front of the camera, because people can see through that too. But what you portray and everyone watching it can see that you got self-esteem. And personally, I'd play on that.
Carries yourself
I'd
well.
play on that.
Carries yourself.
Yeah,
well.
100%.
2022, mate. You know what you need. You got 4 good years. To make a good few quid, and make that so important, because I've had the 3 belts, you've got a belt, and you've had another belt. You don't want to have all them belts and have nothing to show for it. So, you know, I hope it happens for you. Put all your time in here. Listen to Glenn, please. He's seen it all. You know, he's worked with the best. He's been around the best. I hope you do it, Tom. I hope you do well, man. 100%.
Like I said, we've done it the hard way, and fortunately I've got myself into a position where I'm a British champion, you know, and there's potential.
Great position.
You know, there's potential, very good domestic fights to be made, international fights, and I want to be on the big shows and under the big lights. And like I said, make some money, not really for me, but to look after my fiance, our future fight, and be comfortable. And not only that, but to give back as well.
That's it.
And I think what's brilliant for me is, my history with my heart and stuff like that. Being an ambassador for like Art Research UK, and just started working with the British Art Foundation.
Love that.
For me to, it's like what a blessing that is, that I've got myself into a position where I can actually inspire other people and kids.
They're looking at you now, Tommy.
Best feeling in the world, man. Best feeling in the world is, the most. It's not money. The best feeling is when you help someone. The reward that you get back.
That's right.
From
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
And the bigger platform I'm on, the more people I'll reach. as well.
That's
So
right.
that's another
It's
incentive
easier for you
me.
to reach them.
Of course it is.
Well,
Of course
with
it
the way
is.
you are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That gives you motivation because you know you're not doing it for you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? When
Exactly.
you're in there and it gets tough, they're the little glimpses like, this isn't just all about me. There's people looking up to me here. I've got to carry this.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course it is. But I think at the core, you know, boxing is my passion. Boxing's my love, and I want to, you know, I want to be the best at what I do, and I want to be the best that I can be. You know, and I think, you know, as I move up the levels and hopefully involved in some big fights, you're going to see the best of me. I've had good performances to this point, but I just truly believe that the brighter the spotlight is on me and the better opposition I've got, the better I'll be.
I think so.
What's your best attribute,
so.
Tommy? What's your best attribute, and what do you need to work on?
I'd say I'd say my best attribute is my fitness. I'd say, you know, I think I'm naturally fit and I've got a good engine.
Endurance is good.
You know, Glyn will tell you this, but I think the longer a fight goes for me, the better I am. You know, so when fighters start fading around round 9, championship round, you know, I think, you know, the longer the fight goes on, the stronger I get. So I think, you know, my fitness is a big attribute I've got. Stuff to work on, there's always things to work on. And it's like, it's nothing in particular, it's just little things, and that's why I just love being in here every day. Every day, just working on your craft and
enjoying it, yeah.
Yeah,
Make sure you enjoy.
Yeah, just enjoying it, you know. And like one day I'll be in here. Glyn might say, "Look, just spar with kids today.
That's it.
Just spar with kids and just work on whatever you want to work on. You know, just little, you know, moving your head or countering or whatever. And I just think as the weeks go on and the months go by, you just get better as a fighter. You just develop.
And as a person as well.
It's good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like listening to you definitely like, you know, there's IQ and EQ.
Yeah.
You've got good EQ, emotional intelligence. You know.
Yeah.
Like, I love as an older man now. I love my wife. I've been married 12 years. I love when I can hear another man show his feelings.
Yeah.
You understand? He's in touch with them
passion,
feelings.
potential.
Because that's heart. That's how, you know, all this stuff, or I don't cry and I don't do this. That's all.
It's all for the
Be
cameras.
real.
Yeah, of course it is.
Realistic.
Yeah, that's good, man.
100%.
Very good. Yeah. So would you be a trainer later on in life?
I think I'll always
Have
be
your own
involved
gym and
in
that,
boxing.
give something back.
I think you know, I think that
Glenn would love that. He'd have a partner.
yeah,
wouldn't he?
exactly. You know,
Would you have your own gym? Would you have your own gym or go with Uncle Glenn?
probably under Glyn.
Uncle Glenn.
But I
Like
think-
Glenn ever going to the
yeah.
semi-retirement?
Yeah.
Nah, Glenn will be silly.
There's guys that's been with Glyn 26 years.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
looks like you're here, son.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Glenn,
That's it.
need a little step to sit down
Yeah.
on in corner.
It's got
No,
a nice
but
vibe to that.
I think I'll always be involved in boxing. 'Cause I
Yeah.
love boxing. I love
Yeah.
boxing.
Yeah.
You know, whether I'll be a trainer and train fighters or have my own
Manager.
gym, that's something that I'll have to answer once my boxing career
Yeah,
is
you've got
one
to
step
focus
at a
on
time.
that.
The main
Yeah.
thing is, you know, what I want to do now is just get the most out of my career as what I can. You know, like I said, I'm 28 now and I've got the perfect professional setup with my training and my management. I've got the perfect personal setup, you know, my fiance and all my family, my sponsors. So I want to use the advantages I've got and just get the best out of my career.
Would you like to go the route to the top? Which route? Like you see Conor Ben, he's kind of like not
Yeah.
going the traditional
Yeah,
way.
I
He's
know
doing a
what
different
you
way. Do you
mean.
want to go that way, or do you want to go like Asian did and go up through?
I just think it depends on what way it works out.
Yeah,
Because
whatever
like
comes.
I said, just before the pandemic started, you know, I got a shot at the IBO flyweight world title. You know, people might say that it's not a proper world title.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's by the by.
Platform.
The fact
Yeah,
is,
it's opportunity.
if I won that, I'd
Yeah.
have got a bargaining chip.
Yeah, yeah.
For maybe the other champions.
Yeah, definitely.
It'd have pushed me up the world rankings. So that's
Yeah,
that
exposure.
So that came after me just winning, you know, a Commonwealth title and a couple of international titles. So it doesn't always go British, Commonwealth, European, but I do love that route. I do love that
Smart,
route.
isn't he?
I do love that route.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
it's old-fashioned. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like Eshin,
Yeah.
Clinton Woods.
Yeah.
you know, you're talking about guys that
Junior Witter.
Junior Witter, just the old school fighters, and who doesn't want to be a British Commonwealth European? Just the sound of it when an announcer says.
I used to love when he was champ. British, Commonwealth, European.
So who don't want to be stood in a corner before your box or just after and be announced as British Commonwealth European champion? And then of course the world title. That's what you move on to. But I just think if you can pick up them belts on the way, you know why not?
100%.
So I've got my first Commonwealth with the super flyweight title. I'm the current British flyweight champion. My last fight was supposed to be for the Commonwealth flyweight title, so I'd have been a two-weight Commonwealth champion, but unfortunately that didn't come off. But that EBU belt, that blue and gold belt, that's something that's on my radar, 100%.
He's got that one,
yeah.
What's you in the rankings? Where you at if you was going to go that route right now?
Do you know what? It's funnily you've said that. I'm #1 contender in Europe.
Let's go.
And I sent the picture to Glint over there.
Yeah.
But
He's one of them UFIs around the flyweight. So is that the one who just done the Olympics?
No, he did the Olympics.
Yeah, so he's not in yet.
Didn't one of the FIs lose? What belt did he?
Bantam won it.
No, so Kang Yafai was super flyweight. He was the super flyweight WBA world champion.
That's right.
And he lost to Chocolatito.
Yeah.
Roman Gonzalez beat him. He was a great fighter.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether he's at super flyweight anymore. I think he might have been moving up to bantamweight Cam. But like I said, we're in January now.
Have you ever managed to do any sparring with them guys? Because they live in Sheffield, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I know they always trained at Team GB, and I think it's funny you've said that because I was meant to spar with Cam on the build up to one of his world title defences. And at the same time, I got a call from the Ukraine to go and spar with the WBA World Flyweight Champion, Artem Dalakian.
Yeah.
And I've been over twice to Ukraine.
Awesome.
So what an experience that were.
Where have you travelled to? Around for sparring?
I mean, we've sparred all over the world. I've sparred in Vegas. I've boxed in New York as an amateur. I mean, just picture this. I think I was maybe 17. Yeah, so like maybe 17 years old. One of the trips, me and Glim and everyone at SBC, we went to Vegas.
Wow.
Went to Johnny Tocco's gym. And Floyd Mayweather Senior were there. I think this were one of the times where he'd fell out with Floyd Jr. He was training fighters over at Johnny Tocco's. Yeah. So we went in, and Floyd Mayweather Senior had this young fighter. I think he just turned pro. Yeah. And we were about the same weight. Yeah. So we were like, oh, can these two guys spar? So I'm sparring with this guy, this little tough Mexican.
Out there.
It's like the doghouse. Do you know what I mean? The gym, Johnny Tocco's, it's a small gym, old school gym. Yeah. Smells just one of them old school gyms. All around the rings, just packed. Yeah. In one corner, you've got this little Mexican.
Was you on your own or was Glenn with
you? No, Glenn. So in one corner, you've got Floyd Mayweather Senior and this little Mexican. Yeah. And then in my corner, you've got me, Glenn, and Matt. Yeah, and it's just, as a 17-year-old kid, once you've come through that, it's not even boxing, it's just life. That's a life experience. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Something that not a lot of people experience. So I'm just very grateful to have them kind of experiences, and it just shapes you.
There's a lot in boxing. There's a lot of moments like that the fans, the public don't see.
Exactly.
And like Glenn was saying, having respect from the peers and people in the industry is more important than what people feel at home.
It is. Yeah.
We've got Danny Quartermaine. He's had 4 professional fights. He does a lot of sparring with the UFIs. Yeah. He comes up to Sheffield and spars.
Bit bigger though, you're right. Super
he's a super bantamweight guy. Yeah. He spars with UFIs quite a bit.
And like when you talk about sparring, we get like a lot of fighters travel everywhere to spar. Yeah. I am so blessed with this gym. In this gym, you've got own shapes, own sizes, own styles. Orthodox, southpaw. whatever poor.
Yeah.
They're all in this gym.
Yeah,
do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
just
It's
you know,
important,
every now and again we'll get good fighters come over for sparring.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they'll come from Leeds or Bradford
Yeah,
or you know, wherever, Hull. And you know, they'll come over to spar, so that's great preparation for me for when I've got a fight coming up. But other than that, just sparring, using who you've got to spar with,
Utilising,
and you know, using. You're using each other when you're sparring, you know, so you're working on one thing, the other guy's working on another, and you're getting better together. You know, so I think, you know, sparring's obviously very important, but I do believe in using what you've got around you as well. You know, when you're coming up to a 12-round fight and you're training, obviously, you know, you're getting your 8-round good spars in and 10, whatever, you know, you're getting that good preparation in. But I think, you know, day to day, you can pick up stuff sparring with a 15-year-old kid. Do you know what I mean? When you're learning your craft, very important, I think.
Yeah. If you know you've got the upper hand on someone, you can work on your defense.
Yeah, of course.
If you know they're bigger than you, you can twat them. Do you know what I mean? Like you can play around.
Power.
When we were all in Brendan's in the 90s, late 90s, like that was the golden era of that gym, wasn't it? You had Johnny in the gym. Yeah, Naz. Junior in the gym, Naz in the gym, John Faxton in the gym, Buster Keaton in the gym. Like you turn around and sparring, and like you're sparring with whoever, like you're Ryan, and then it's Buster, and it was nuts.
You see, I love hearing them stories because I'm blessed. Like I'm with Glyn pretty much every day. So
it's part of that.
So on day, and you know the stories he tells, I've probably heard them 100 times. But every time he tells them, I'm still listening. You know, just to the old school, and you know, Glyn being from Brendan's, and just them, you know, sparring with Bomber Graham, and and,
I missed all that. I wish I'd got it, seen it.
And it's just it's brilliant.
They're the moments, though. They're the moments.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I used to finish, I used to try to be first in, and then get my turn out of the way, and then just sit down and watch Naz.
Well, I'm just like a sponge, mate. That's why I wish I'd have come earlier to watch Glyn. I mean, I'll watch it back anyway, but I'm just like a sponge. I just like sitting and just listening to stories, you know, and ex-fighters, and just picking little things up. Just learning.
That's what it's all about.
And I like asking them, you know, how many miles did you go running, and what did you eat, and you know, just little things, and it's just them little.
You know, good
really
advice.
Interests me.
Don't ask the old fighters about the diet.
Yeah.
Stick with the diet. What you're doing.
Stick
We
with
did
what
it
I know
wrong.
what you mean.
Don't ask.
Yeah.
Glenn? We did it wrong. No.
How's your social life, Tommy? You got any?
Quiet.
What's it like? What
Quiet,
you like?
mate. Very quiet. But
Good friends. Good. Obviously, you've got a good family and missus. But what about friends?
Yeah,
what they're
very
like?
good friends. You know,
what do you do to chill out? What do you do?
I just go and see my family. Just go and see my family. I don't. Obviously, it's a good thing, but I don't drink. You know, and I'm just a normal Sheffield lad. Sounds quite boring, but I literally, you know,
down to earth,
best way to live, mate.
I'll train in the morning. You know, we'll go and get some breakfast. I'll go and see my fiance. Might nip round to my mum and dad's and have a play with dog for half an hour, and then
you're living it. This is your
have
life.
A rest, come back to the gym.
Best way.
Drop tickets off. You know, it's like I know a lot of people. You know, in Sheffield, and I'm very proud that, you know, people who don't necessarily know me feel comfortable enough to say I do to me in the street and stuff, and come up and or when's your next fight, and
I don't think it'd change you. Like there's certain people that make it and it changes them, but I can see with you. You know who you are. You're comfortable. Yeah, you're comfortable.
I'm not going to be changed.
That's what I loved about him when I first came in the gym, and he was the guy coming through and all the rest. There were certain individuals there. I won't name names, but you're beneath them.
Yeah.
So they look at you a certain way,
no,
and they make you feel they make you feel uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
That intimidation, like I'm the champ. But he was always relaxed. And you said that when you went there, you was the one for me. Neville Brown was the one for you, right?
Oh, that's good, man.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Neville, what did Neville say to you when you first came in and you trained?
What did he say now? He didn't say anything.
It
was Nazul. Nazul said something, didn't it?
No, it was Neville. Neville.
We said it the other week.
Yeah. Like he said, he pointed at you like that, and he goes. He indicated to you that you had something, right, and that's important. And I can see that that's what you'll do in this gym with kids coming through.
Yeah.
That's important.
Like when you're talking about, and you should never get. I'm very conscious. Well, I'm not conscious because I'm just not like that anyway.
Yeah.
But I'd never let myself get big-headed.
Yeah.
Well, my family wouldn't anyway.
Yeah.
If I started,
Grounded.
opening my mouth and swearing on interviews and stuff, like my mum and dad would chin me. Do you know what I mean? For a start.
Yeah.
But I just think I'm just a normal Sheffield lad. I'm like a Castle Market type of kid. You know, like a Crystal Peaks Market type of kid. I love that. I know it sounds daft as well, but I love talking to older people as well.
I love it.
I
love it. I love
you
it.
know, like
I love it. I love it too.
Yeah, you know, like if I'm in say Crystal Peaks Market or something like that, and there's an old guy and he might clock me and say, I've seen you in paper or something. And then I'll make sure I have a good 10 minutes with him.
Yep.
And it's just like it's just learning stuff, and it's you know picking stuff up as well, innit?
You can see that with his demeanour and his endeavours, can't you? The way he's talking.
Don't get me wrong. You know, I hope I earn millions of pounds, and I hope I look after my family. But I can 100% guarantee you I'll still be the same top.
It's like Mickey Allen as well. He's down to earth as well.
Yeah, because
it's the same.
You know who you are. You're not trying to be someone you're not.
Yeah. I think whatever person you are, if you acquire wealth and money and things like that, I think that just enhances who you are.
Yeah.
So I think if you're not a very nice person to begin with, and you get money and fame and wealth, you'll probably be you'll go down. You'll be even worse. I think if you're just a normal guy who likes helping people and you get a lot of money, you'll help more people. I think you know that it just. You know what I mean, don't you?
I know exactly what you mean.
Probably, hopefully he'll take this the right kind of way. He's right in what he's saying. 100%. But you know what? Don't be too nice in the ring. Because I was too nice in the ring.
Well, I don't think he was.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Not inspiring though. You were nice.
I don't know.
When that bell rings.
You got to be
do you know what, East, right? We could speak for this because we're watching you, right? And I can see it with you as well. Your alter egos when you're in there.
You got to be.
Right? Because guys that are nasty outside the ring and they get in there and they feel a bit of pressure, the bully gets... You can see the bully, right? And they haven't got it. But if you know who you're outside of the ring... When you get in there, alter ego...
Completely different.
Yeah, I can be a different character.
As soon as that bell goes... Before the bell goes... That switch just flips in your head. So when that bell goes, it's boxing, but do you know what? To me, it's just a fight. We might as well just be out on the street for all I. It's me against you when I'm winning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's having. You've got to have you've got to have that nastiness in you. You've got to. It's very important. You don't have to be nasty outside, but when you're in there, it's one against one.
Let me put it in a way, because I think I know what he's trying to say. Like, some people, like, they're nasty as in vindictive. But Ish, when you was in a fight and you got hit, you didn't just stand there and take a hit. You were straight back in there. So that's instinct. Do you know what I mean? So you did have it. It's just that you didn't need to make it personal.
Exactly. Well, that's what I've got. It's never personal. It's never personal. And as soon as the bell rings for the end of the fight, it's back to your opponent.
And you know what it is? You know your
That's what I love
opponents.
about boxing.
It's just business.
And you know your opponents, when you see them like years down the line, you're like family, like you know each other, like you relate to each other.
But you know what I mean? The one thing people can't understand, it's like, but you're having a fight with this guy, but it's like, but it's just business. Look at what we're doing. We're having a fight. We're having a fight with each other in front of thousands of people for money. That's what we're doing. We're just having a fight. It's like any other job, A guy gets up in the morning, he's a plumber, goes to work all day. Fortunately, I'm doing what I love and what I've always dreamed of doing. I'm a professional boxer, and my job is to have a fight with someone. I
think there's levels to departmentalizing your thinking. So, for instance, some people can be nice at home and then go and be a plumber, and that's their level to go at. Fighters have to have a different level. It can be right. Like someone said something to this week, which I thought it's kind of a weird thing. He said to me, he was like, he's an Australian guy, and they all walk around in bikinis in Australia, but it's just they can separate being nude to sex.
Right.
Whereas over here, if we had everyone walking around in bikinis or whatever, we have to make it into a sex thing. Like, oh, she's got a bikini on. It's like,
normal to them,
with fighting, it's the same thing. Like, not a lot of people can departmentalize.
Yeah.
They have to get hit. It has to be personal for them.
Yeah, of course it does.
But you was always competitive.
Yeah, I suppose.
You was always had that. In every fight you had, when you got hit, you had that. Do you know what I mean?
What you've got to think is, it sounds daft saying it, but as a fighter, you're not a normal person.
No.
There's no normal person that walks this planet that does what fighters do.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
Switch.
We train every day and then at the end of it, we get in and have a fight with someone. That's like it goes against your instincts on so many levels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're overcoming your basic human instincts, which if anything is to avoid a fight if you can.
Yeah.
So we're preparing ourselves for battle as a profession. You know, and not only that, but you know, you're sparring every day, and you know your adrenaline's going all over the place and things, and you've got a diet, and you've got to run at 4 a.m. and you can't go to weddings or family parties. We're not normal people.
No.
You know,
smart.
When you talk to, you know, men and women just on the street, and they ask you things about boxing, and they ask you questions, what kind of makes you question? It's like, sometimes I haven't got an answer for the question that they're asking, because it's just it's quite a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
you know?
what it is with boxers, as we turn pro and now we're training, we don't know when to give up.
Yeah.
It's like we could have been in a fight, get a cut eye. I'm going to pull you out. No, I'm all right. Why are we all right?
Yeah.
Because it's pride.
Yeah, but do you know what it is? Fighters are not. It's not just a physical thing. It's what they are.
Mentally as well.
Yeah.
It's just what they are. So like I said to Isham, now he's retired. Do you class yourself as a former fighter? You're a fighter, and you'll be a fighter to the day you die. Because
no matter what,
that's
you will
what's in you. Do you understand what I
will
mean?
be.
So if you're playing a PlayStation or a board game or whatever,
competition that
you want to win.
You don't win all the time.
That's right.
Anything you do, no matter what it is, you want to win.
I never really
That's
thought
our
of it that
mentality.
way.
Yeah, most
That's
normal
how
people have that
we
instinct.
train.
Do you know what I mean?
We're machines. We've been programmed to do that.
It's like when
naturally.
I see you, I don't think you're Isham Pickering form or whatever. You're Isham.
Always there, innit? It's always there.
Yeah.
You don't see that as yourself, though. You might see that down the line. You might not see it. You might not. You might do. I don't know.
What you mean? You think in your head?
I've had my time. You know what I mean? I look at that.
Yeah, but still,
my
they look
time.
up at you. They will look up at you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
No matter what you got a title. They look up at you.
And you
as well.
deserve that respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
You know what I mean?
You were like you became a champion. You did something that I couldn't do, and that's what when I see other people disrespect Isham, I get offended.
Yeah.
Because I understood.
I'd have a problem with that as well.
Yeah, because I live with him.
Yeah.
You know where he's
I
come from.
watched what he had to make work. I watched what he had to do in preparation and all the rest, and he deserves more respect than that. So before he could say it, I'd be like, you need to shut up.
Yeah.
Understand what I mean?
I hate people, you know, saying bad things about fighters. Full stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the question
Proper
is,
boxing man, ain't he, this guy?
Yeah.
you know, when someone, you know, disrespects a fighter or something like that, the first question I say is how many fights you had.
Precisely.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's just as a fighter, you understand what it takes. So it don't matter about record. You know, you could have had 30 fights and lost 30. You've got in there. You've got in there.
That's the hardest part, getting in.
And you've done it. You've been there and you've done it. Do you know what I mean? So,
you know, like this is the problem that I have, and there's certain individuals in our lives that would speak to Isham and say, "Well, I disagree with you. Listen, sometimes Isham gets it wrong because he's a human being, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes when we talk about boxing, I know that my opinion's right and his is wrong.
Yeah.
But the fact is, if we talk about Amir Khan and Kel, I ain't gonna say you don't know what you're on about, mate. Because that you can't do. You're talking to a former champ, so I'm like Isham. I hear what you're saying. Just let me give my opinion.
Yeah.
That's because I'm never wrong.
No. Sometimes you won't. Sometimes you won't. But then he'll say,
I might predict a fight wrong.
yeah, but then
yeah.
then he'll
That's
go.
not bad.
He'll go.
My bookie
John,
paper's showing
actually, John, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I talked in the right way, right?
Yeah.
That's
But
it.
you should never go up to a former fighter who's been a champion and say who's
Experience.
That's
and you're
wrong.
an
This is
armchair
right.
person.
Yeah.
That's
blah, blah,
wrong.
blah.
This is right.
I
Yeah.
think
I won't even answer you back. I just walk off.
Yeah, and I think that's where social media, especially these days, it just
yeah.
gets blown out. It goes too far because you get people, everyone's got an opinion.
We know a couple of people like it.
No names.
You'll know, man. I'll sort you out later. I'll sort you out
Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Yeah.
You know, that's your right. And you know, but when you start getting personal and saying nasty things and going over the top, especially when you've never boxed, when you've never had a glove on in your life.
How do you deal with that when someone says that to you online?
It used to get to me. Not get to me, but it used to have me thinking.
Yeah. Because you lead with that. That's why you got hurt.
Last thing at night, you know, when I first turned pro, boxing for titles, and people used to say not very nice things to me on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
It used to maybe get me ticking, and I'd think, yeah, but has he got a point or this or that? Now I just ignore it.
Good.
Not even ignore it. You know, if
don't
I
give it time.
Just say thank you. All right.
I don't give it energy. I don't give it energy.
100%.
I'm a big believer in focusing on the good. You know, on the positive stuff. Yeah. And I just think if you do that, all the negative, that just goes away.
100%. Yeah. We could talk to you all day long. We could. I think there's gonna have to be.
Can I just let me ask him one more question? Totally off the cuff. One thing I didn't have, because it was my job, was a hobby. My hobby was boxing. Yeah. You got any hobbies apart from boxing? I think it's very important. You must have a hobby.
Something which is a distraction away from boxing is what you
I do every now and again. Me and Sam Sheedy, obviously you know Sam Sheedy, very good fighter, very good trainer now as well. You know he does bits of training with me. Yeah, and we go fishing. We're not very good at it.
That's perfect.
We're not very good at it.
It doesn't matter. It's a distraction, though, isn't it? It's a distraction.
Take your mind off it.
Yeah,
perfect.
But when it comes to like hobbies and stuff like that, like I'm not handy or anything like that.
Donovan had a really good hobby away from boxing. He used to like knitting.
Knitting, that's a good hobby.
I used to be extra on TV, Coniston Street, Brookside.
Oh, really?
Knitting's better than watching
that. Give up. Yeah. Brookside and all that, Hollyoaks. Did it all. Adverts, everything. I loved it. It was away from boxing.
It takes you
know
away,
what I mean? And he just...
I'd say one thing for me, I'm very into like health and fitness and stuff and looking after yourself.
Good hobby that, innit?
Yeah, you know, and I'm very lucky, you know, through the gym as well. I managed to get a personal training qualification. Yeah, so I've got that if I want to, and I do sometimes. I do personal training sessions, you know, just for a bit of, you know, whatever.
You could, and if you need advice, we could talk off camera. There's online coaching. Right. That's the way forward.
The one thing I'm very interested is in nutrition. You know, I want to do a course in that because that's something that really.
Listen, I'll help you with that.
Because that's just some stuff. What you've got is like another string to your bow for later life.
Especially in what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in what you're doing and. You know, hopefully with the position that I get to myself in boxing, people are going to listen to me about 100%. That stuff even more. About training and dieting and stuff like that.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk. I could talk about that all day long. That's what I do all day long.
This guy's going to do it. We're confident. So we're 22. I think this guy's going to start making a name for himself.
Look out for him.
Tommy Frank.
Before we get off, let's give Tommy a scenario. Where do you want to be in the next 24 months before we end this? Where would you want to be in a perfect world? No politics. Distractions. Where do you want to be?
Do you know what? I'm gonna take the opportunities as they present themselves. You know, I'd love to defend my British title. You know, I love that Lonsdale belt.
Where would you like to defend it in your hometown?
Yeah, well, I'm set to defend it in April.
How many more defences have you got? Because he lost out.
It's four, isn't it?
Yeah, he lost out on it.
So you win it, and then you've got to defend it 3 times now.
Yeah. So he just missed out because it just changed to 4.
I did 3 for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I only got 2, didn't I? Yeah. So you need 3 defences. So you've got a defence on the April
April 2nd. I've got a defence.
Sheffield,
in Sheffield.
Whereabouts?
I'm not exactly sure.
Just waiting.
Guys, tune in, it's coming.
Yeah. So, you know, if I can defend my British title, I mean, if I could win that Lonsdale belt outright, I mean, it's hard to do it anyway, especially as a flyweight. But if I can do it, I won't do it 100%. And then, like I said, I'm currently, you know, the #1 contender in the EBU European. So that's another option. But then, as a flyweight, you know, you're in the rankings and you're up there very, very fast. You know, a couple of more wins.
Yeah,
that's
who
right.
knows? I could get a world title
Let's
shot.
see.
Who knows?
Let's hope you get that Lonsdale belt this year, Frank.
Yeah. I hope so. I mean,
let's hope Tommy Frank can get that belt this year.
Outright.
May.
Yeah.
I mean, you get fighters like, for instance,
July, September.
This is just off the top of my head, but Lee Wood, he won the British title. Yeah. And then his fight after, he won the WBA world title.
That's right.
That's how fast things can happen in boxing. Right. So do you know what? I'm just gonna I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna train hard. I'm gonna be positive. Stay focused.
Keep doing what you're doing.
And you know, take the opportunities as they come.
That's it. Good.
You know,
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
John, this is a current guy on the scene.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm so happy to see and be around this guy who's humble, knows what he's talking about, so realistic and ahead of his years, the way he's talking.
Yes.
And I can only wish him nothing but the best, Tommy. You know what I mean? Hopefully this guy's going to be, in 1 year's time, he's going to be there or thereabouts.
But you know what? Just forget boxing for a second, right?
Yeah.
Me just sat here with you guys.
You picking a vibe up, right?
Yeah, but and I'm sat next to a former British Commonwealth European. I used to watch that guy on Sky, and I'm sat here now talking to you.
Normal guy as well, isn't he?
So what you've got to think is just what I'm living my dream. I am living the dream. So every dream I had is coming up as a teenager. I'm currently living it now.
Live in the second, man.
Because I've got to the point I have. That's what makes me think. Do you know what? Who's to say what the future holds? I'm just gonna go for it.
Yes.
Keep working hard.
Yeah.
Enjoy it because it don't last forever, does it?
100%.
Right. Like Glyn says, make hay while the sun shines. That's it. And that's what we plan on doing.
I'll intro out.
You can do it.
You got the song ready for me, sir?
Alright, just give me 2 seconds, sir.
Don't worry, I know you guys have enjoyed this episode and we will definitely be back.
Look out for this guy.
100%.
I will be.
Thanks for watching the 13th and final round podcast. Tune in next week. Don't forget to like, share, save and comment. Hit that notification bell. And you never know who we're going to be talking to next week. Tune in.
Aye.
And we out.
We're here.